Recording in progress.
Very good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening.
Good evening.
So my name is Chetan Preet, and I'm here to take you through this webinar on Montessori teacher training today. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. So, little bit about educators first. We update, uplift, upkeep, upskill the educators at Up Educators. Now, Up Educators has various academic partnerships with Google. For please mute yourself, and if you need to speak, you can unmute.
तेरी नानी दे देगी और तुम लेके क्यों जाएगा तेरी नानी तो
So we have academic partnerships with Google for Education. We're partnering with them. Google for Education is a part of our courses. Then Cambridge International Education, MEPSC, Centiport, STEM.org, Ethic, and recently also OTH. Up Educators is India's leading institute which conducts instructor-led training courses to the educators. Now, the educators, undergo various courses here other than early learning, early years education courses. There are various AI courses, technology courses, and all of these, courses which we need in the current times to upgrade or equip ourselves with the 21st century, teaching practices and techniques.
करना तो बिल्कुल ये कनेक्ट नहीं होता है अब
We have trained 25,000 plus educators till date. The number is higher than this now. From 9,000 plus schools and colleges. You can see a few of these names on your screens. And from around 25 countries. Now, Up Educators is very popular on social media. There is a large teacher community who is on social media. There are 4 lakh plus followers. I would encourage all of you also to join us on Instagram and Facebook and also LinkedIn and X. From time to time, we do invite expert voices in education. Now, whoever is doing this course with us, they get a chance to attend these sessions. Our National Teaching Award winners, as you can see on your screens. Now, I'm sure you must have heard of this thing called International Teachers Olympiads. If not, I'll tell you a little bit about them. Annually, over 25,000 plus teachers participate in our subject-wise Olympiads, which are organized by UP educators. Now, which subjects are they organized in? They are International Primary Teachers Olympiads, English Teachers Olympiads, Science Olympiads, Pre-Primary Teachers Olympiads, Maths Teachers Olympiads, and International Digital Teachers Olympiads. Those who enroll for these, register for these, participate in these have various benefits and perks. And they do get a certificate like this on attending and registering. These Olympiads have received tremendous media coverage in the leading dailies and also on social media. It has taken the lead in introducing India's first AI platform for educators. We all know it is in need of the hour. Now, what does this AI platform do? It empowers the Indian educators to teach smarter with the help of AI. I'm sure you all know about AI today, and most of you are already using it. However, we all use it like, we use Google. Okay, we use ChatGPT, we use certain tools, but like Google. And I would say 80% of us do that only. However, there are various other ways in which we can make the most of these AI tools, which can help us work smarter, prepare lesson plans, activities and games, content, questions and assignments, subject-wise tools, board-wise tools. So for all these, our AI courses are equipping our educators. Now, 2,000 plus educators from UP educators have become Google and Microsoft certified. In fact, if any one of you is doing the Montessori teacher training course, the Google certification would be a part of this course. Okay, so enough about UP educators. Let's go on to what we are here for today, the Montessori teacher training. Now, can we recognize the person on the screens? Can anyone?
Elon Musk
Yes. So who is he? Why is he
Okay.
popular and what is he popular for?
is popular for, I think, I'm not sure.
Yeah, go ahead. No right or wrong. Just tell me what you know.
For AI only, no? For he has,
Yes. AI as well.
I have
Yeah, AI,
heard.
SpaceX. And I think the most popular reason for him being
Ma'am,
famous
Tesla.
is
Tesla.
Tesla. Very
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
very
yeah.
good. So you are all already aware of these things. So, however, knowing all this, I'm sure you must have heard that he's the richest man.
Yeah.
Right? No, I don't
Yes,
know
ma'am.
the current, scenario because these things change every year or every a few months. But he's one of the richest men on earth, right? But why are we talking about him today then? He's rich. He's famous for one more reason. Firstly, he's the richest man. Okay, then these reasons you have already given me. He's the CEO of Tesla. He's also the CEO and chief engineer of SpaceX. SpaceX हम सब ने सुना है recent times में, right? Uh, have we heard of SpaceX? The recent space odysseys and all those, for that SpaceX was responsible, and Elon Musk is the CEO and chief engineer of that company. He's also the founder of the Boring Company, Neuralink, and Twitter, which is currently known as X. Not only these, other than this, he's famous for one more thing. I'm not sure if you have heard of that. He is famous for one more thing. He has a very large family. He has 14 children. And Not only that, he opened his own Montessori preschool. He is also a Montessori alumna. Okay. And not only Elon Musk, but other famous people in the world, the CEOs of Amazon, the founders of Amazon and co-founders of Google. Who are these people? They are Larry Page, Sergey Brin, and Jeff Bezos. They are also Montessori school. And not only these famous people, but many other people, like I'm sure you have heard of Princes William and Harry, George Clooney, and whoever your the favorites are. Closer home also, Indira Gandhi and uh, many more are Montessori school alumna. Meaning even Amir Khan's son goes to Montessori school, and many celebrity children go to Montessori schools. So the reason why I'm telling you is this is that Montessori education has had a global expansion. Whether it is in India, whether it is with our neighbors, whether it is across the world, you would see a Montessori expansion of Montessori education. Now, this is a method which came more than 100 years ago, and it is still expanding. Okay. Otherwise, what happens every 5 years, things change. And you don't even recognize what was there 5 years ago. And now the systems have changed. And, whether it is education, whether it is technology, everything is different. Now there is this method which is going strong and even stronger than before. I'm sure that's why we are all here today, right? Now, according to the data of 2022, now this is 4 years old data. Currently, this is even bigger. There were 15,763 Montessori schools, which were spread across 154 countries. It is one of the fastest growing preschool education methods in the world. The demand has grown so much in the last decade, you can say in India only that it has exceeded a 50% growth rate. Now, let's find out why this demand of Montessori education is increasing across the world. We are going to do it in a little while, but before that, we need to know something important. Who is this person who is behind all this? Who was Maria Montessori? The name behind the Montessori method. Maria Montessori was born in a very small province in Italy in 1870, at a time which was very conservative for females or girls. The only suitable career options which were worth pursuing, which were considered for girls, were only teaching and nursing. That was a kind of time. Not only this, there are various documented incidents which tell us that it was a very conservative time. To give you an idea of this conservatism, I'm going to give you a few examples. It has been recorded that if a woman had to go out of a house after a certain hour, she needed a male escort. Or if she wanted to withdraw money from her own bank account, then also she needed the permission of her husband. If she had to testify in a court of law, she needed a permission from her husband. So now, such instances tell us that it was a very conservative time for women. Okay, and the only career options which were suitable were considered to be nursing and teaching. Now, at such a time, just imagine Maria Montessori wanted to become a doctor. She was determined. When she applied, when she expressed this desire at her home also, her father, who was very keen that she get educated, he also was not interested in this. He also did not support her. It was only her mother who was supportive. No one else was supportive. However, she was persistent. She was really keen to become a doctor. She approached the University of Rome for this course, and she was categorically told by the dean that she was going to be in no way able to be complete this project. In fact, she was discouraged openly. So it is recorded that she petitioned the Pope, and with the letter from the Pope, she got admission in the University of Rome. And of course, her journey after that was not easy. However, she, despite initial rejection, she got admission. She went through all the hardships, she persisted, and she became one of Italy's first female doctors in 1896. Again, you'd be thinking now, how did this doctor become an educator? We'll go on to that. Now, since she was female, and we know it was a conservative time, now her stream of, in medicine, she had opted for pediatrics, I mean, children's diseases, and also psychiatry. So she could only work with special needs children. Now, because she was a woman, she never got the opportunity to, work in urban areas. She could only work in slum areas or rural areas. However, here she started working. Now, whatever happens, when you become a doctor or an engineer, when you do such a course, after that, you have to spend some time under a mentor and you have to do some internship kind of a thing. So that is what she was doing. She was assigned to a senior mentor or doctor, and she would, along with him, visit poor children and patients with mental disorders. So this was going on. And during this phase and period, she made various observations which are instrumental in this shift from medicine to education. A few examples are there which are recorded. I'll give you one of them. There are many others which told her that, she was meant to do something else and not just be a doctor. One day when she was visiting such an asylum, there were special needs children, and those were times when, these children were given very derogatory names. Now, these days we have names like special needs children, and in fact, these days special needs children is also not considered a very respectable name, and children are, there are other names for them. However, in those days, there were very derogatory names given to special needs children like idiots and things like that, and they were kept chained. At that asylum, they were kept chained. Now, in this particular picture, you will see that during lunch hour, the children's hands were opened to have their meals. And Maria Montessori was visiting them. So she observed then once the children, they had had their fill of food. I mean, they were full. They were no longer hungry. Okay. She saw that they were still fiddling with the food crumbs on the floor. As you can see in the picture, they were playing with the bits of food that were lying on the floor. Now, such incidents, not only this, various others told her that children craved movement, and that probably the answer to their, conditions was actually movement and education, or a right kind of environment rather than medicines. So that is what her observations told her, and that is what she started working on. She developed methods to work with special needs children. And she concluded that if provided with the right environment and the right materials, these young minds could be nurtured. And this led her to develop her educational method, which focused optimal stimulation during childhood's sensitive periods. I'm sure now you would be thinking, what is this term called sensitive periods? To put it very simply, sensitive periods are temporary windows of time in a child's life when the child is focused on one particular aspect of the environment and everything else takes a backseat. Very simple example is when children start walking, you would have experienced they walk all day. They never sit down for a moment. They keep walking up and down the stairs, backward walking, up the toys, down the toys, up a stepper, down a stepper. They keep walking then. In fact, by night, their legs might be aching and mothers probably press their legs to put them to sleep. Right? Whereas we adults, do we move so much? No, we only move when needed. But children do that. Not only walking, whichever interest they have. For example, if they started talking, you would say they talk 19 to the dozen. Okay. Or when they are focused on, let's say small objects, you take them to the park or, any place, you would see they're focused on tiny little ants or bugs and little things in the park rather than the obvious things like beautiful flowers and, scenery. Rather than that, they just focus on little things. That is also a temporary window when they focus on small things. And at home also, now the big toys take a back seat and they start focusing on small cars. And on cars ke andar, there's a little steering wheel and a driver sitting. They focus on those things. So these are all temporary windows, whether it is talking, whether it is walking, whether it is small things, whether it is, learning through their five senses. So it is as though nature has gifted them this ability for a short while to focus on these things. And it is also nature's way of helping them to perfect it or master it. So Maria Montessori felt that these sensitive windows should be recognized and made the most of. If teachers observed children carefully, they would know which sensitive periods they are passing through, teachers as well as parents. And during those sensitive periods, the environment should be right that they could make the most of it. Now, if they want to walk, you should not stop them from doing so. Don't make the child sit down for a while, because that is the way that is the time when the child is developing the coordination of movement, balance, and they are growing. Gross motor skills are being developed, fine motor skills are being developed. So stopping them at the time will actually hamper the child's growth. Or when they are talking, and if there is no one to talk with them, so probably everyone learns and they will learn to talk eventually, but it will not be as perfect as it could have been. They could have gone on, to when they grew up to become orators or leaders who, spoke well, who were known for their speech. So that perfection would not come, although everybody will learn it, whether you give them that kind of environment or not. So she felt that these were the windows when the right kind of environment, if provided, they could be made the most of it. So that is how her method revolves around that. And this was tremendously successful with special needs children first. So then she opened the first orthopedic school, where she has worked for 2 years along with another doctor. And here they were both co-owners of the place. So she taught children with disabilities using her hands-on sensory-based tools. Now, this experience of these 2 years working with these children was very, successful. There was incredible progress. In fact, when tested at par with normal children, these children did very well. They fared almost at par with the normal children, sometimes even better. Now, when this happened, of course, it was, Maria Montessori was very successful and it became very popular, and people from all over the world wanted to know what phenomenon was going on in these places, which was, that all this was happening. She became really popular. But while the world was singing praises of her, now she was secretly dreaming of an opportunity to apply all this to normal children, because she felt, if these special needs children did so well with these methods, what can normal children gain from these? Now she had a desire to work with normal children. And that is how the shift happened from physician to educator scientist. She became an educator scientist. She was constantly observing and refining her methods. That is why, like I told you, the method is going strong even today, because the method has come from a lot of research, because that is what scientists do. They do not bring out anything unless it is tried and tested. There's a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of research. It is precise. And because she was herself a doctor scientist, that is why the education method is so precise that it is so suitable for the 21st century. That is why it is going strong. Now, what happened to Maria Montessori's desire to work with normal children? She felt that, special needs children techniques, which she was using with them, they could benefit all children. Now, she was working as a director of hygiene in one of the slum areas in Rome. Now, what happens in slum areas is, this was an area inhabited by labor class people. And in labor class families, both parents have to work to be able to put food on the table for the family. So when both parents work, children are left unattended. Okay. So when they were left unattended, you can imagine what was happening. They were causing harm to themselves. They were, up to mischief. They sometimes caused harm to the buildings and public property. So all that was happening. So you can say the government, they decided that there should be someone who would take care of these children. Now, they had heard that Maria Montessori was looking for this opportunity. So what did they do? They approached Dr. Maria Montessori to find a constructive way to engage these children. Maria Montessori was already secretly looking for such an opportunity. Now, she was very illustrious doctor, and all her friends, they were actually laughing at what she wanted to get into. What she was, I mean, who she was and what she wanted to get. But she was so keen to work with normal children that she readily accepted this opportunity. So what started as a challenge, I mean, with these children, causing harm to public property and themselves. So it became a turning point. And it was her first chance to apply her ideas to typical or normal children in the real life settings. So that is how the first children's house opened in 1907 in San Lorenzo in Rome. In Italian, it is called the Casa di Bambini. Casa means house, Bambini means children, meaning house of children or children's house. Now, the government hardly gave her anything worthwhile. They just gave her a large room and probably one strong, sturdy table and one cupboard. That's it. She came with a few of her own, sensory tools which she had worked with special needs children. And some of her rich friends donated some used expensive toys because they felt that these slum children would not have been exposed to all of this. So she came in with that. That's it. So she started working with these children. So her methods, when she was working with them, they became, she saw that here also she saw incredible progress. The children became focused. And remember, they were slum children. They had not seen any discipline. Their parents had no time to be at home to discipline them. So these children were the ones who became focused, independent, and they even began reading and writing. Okay. They became, there are many recorded incidents which tell us that when because it became really popular and famous visitors used to come and see what phenomenon was at play here. When I say famous visitors, I mean heads of states, ambassadors. They all wanted to see what was going on in this place. So when they would come, even if Maria Montessori was not around or no one was around, they would come and to see these children. These children would gather and work in such a manner as though they didn't even need the teacher. That was the level of discipline that was there. It was spontaneous self-discipline. So the method here was not born from theory, but from careful observation and proof. She came with a few tools, but here she kept on modifying what was needed. She kept on removing what was no longer serving its purpose. When she saw that these children were not using certain tools, like, for example, all those expensive toys which her rich friends had donated, these slum children never even touched them. Probably they were attracted to them, touched them a few times, and then they just ignored them. In spite of them never being exposed to these kind of toys. But they were more, attracted towards all these, purposeful work tools which Maria Montessori had. Now, at home, I'm sure you must have experienced with little children, whether they are your own or around you, you would see that children love to play with little things like katori chammach in the, kitchen, or those rolling pins, roti belan, and, they run after the nannies and they like to do pocha and jhadu. I'm sure you have experienced these things because this is purposeful work. And Maria Montessori brought all that purposeful work in the classroom because it was actually leading to their holistic development. So they were no longer interested in other things. So whatever the children were interested in, she brought in. Of course, she brought in all the good choices. And whatever she felt that they had not worked from a long time, she tried to motivate them to work with it. Still, no one was interested. She just removed it from her classroom so that the area could be dynamic. There should be no stagnant places here, which, cluttered, and place where, the materials are lying which no one is working with. She removed all of that and only brought in things that were useful and positive and constructive. So that is how she kept on modifying the things. She observed children, brought in things which were necessary. So that is how we can say she never came with a theory or method. She just observed children and kept on changing, kept on modifying, kept on adding, kept on removing. So that is how the method kept shaping up. Now, India also has a role to play in all this. Like I told you, the method became really popular, and soon the children's houses opened up all over Italy. And after that, in other areas of Europe. And in 1912-13, the method went to America. And after that, all over the world, the method became really popular. Now, I'm sure we all know that that was also a period after the method became famous. It took, it could have taken more than a decade for this to happen. After that came a time when the world saw its two world wars. And during the Second World War, we know in Italy there was Mussolini. Now, Mussolini also got to know of this method and how it was useful and what were its benefits. Now, he wanted to use this method for his own purposes. Now, when he approached the Montessori teachers for this, they refused. So when they refused, now we know what happens when you antagonize famous and well-known people. So he ordered the shutdown of all the Montessori schools during World War II. So all the Montessori schools were shut, and Maria Montessori, in fact, had to flee Italy. And that is the time when she came to India. In fact, she was fleeing, and here she was housebound in India. She came to India in 1939. Along with her son, Mario Montessori, she has stayed here for 7 years. Although she was housebound, but here also she has done a lot of work. Here, people welcomed her with open arms, and there were people who had heard about her and they were keen to have this method come to this part of the world. And she has trained over 1,500 teachers in this part of the world, in India, in Karachi, in Ceylon, and all of this area. She lived in Kodaikanal. Here she developed cosmic education for 6 to 12-year-old children. Now, if you have heard of the term cosmic actually is related to the universe, the solar system. She has applied this term to the universe because we know that every living organism in this world there is interdependence. They have a cosmic task. For example, plants, to put it simply, they give out oxygen. Okay, they don't need it themselves, but it's their cosmic task that they produce oxygen which others use. Simply, bees collect nectar which they never consume themselves. Okay, when cows they graze fields, it is for their own to satisfy their own hunger, but in turn they leave the fields fertile due to grazing. So this is their cosmic task. So every living organism has its cosmic task. Maria Montessori recognized this thing, and she felt that of course the child cannot be far behind. The humans also have a cosmic task. So she developed an education which would lead to the child being a contributing member of society, because she felt the current education system was not solving its purpose. That is why there was war, there was no harmony, there was comparison, there was competition. People did not live harmoniously with each other. So the reason was the education system was not solving its purpose. So she developed cosmic education. This education system fostered a sense of wonder, responsibility, and connection to living things. So it also helps children understand what is their place in the universe. What else she did here? In India, she met Gandhi, Nehru, Tagore, and she was deeply moved by Indian spirituality and values. She was herself a very spiritual person. She was Catholic. And she has, written 2 books after she left India. So we would like to believe that Indian spirituality and values have a role to play in the amount of spirituality in her books also. So India did inspire and influence her. So the key message from here is that India shaped her global vision of education as a tool for peace, purpose, and planetary harmony. Hers was a legacy that started like this, and eventually it changed the entire world. The method, which started with marginalized children or special needs children, eventually transformed education for everyone. She trained thousands of teachers across Europe, India, America, and inspired a global movement over 100 countries. Maria Montessori was nominated 3 times for the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, she was never won for awards and prizes. However, her fans were, and they got her nominated thrice. But she has never won it, but the nomination she got 3 times. Maria Montessori passed away in Netherlands in 1952 at the age of 82. And after that, the baton was taken over by her son, Mario Montessori, who also worked till he was 82. And later on, the family took over. And if you want to know more about it, information is available everywhere. So it led to the birth of Montessori education, which is a revolutionary approach to learning. Now, I'm sure after all this, you'd be wondering, then how is it different from traditional education? Right? What is the difference between traditional and Montessori teaching? Now, if you look at this picture, you will see the teacher is teaching in the traditional method. When I say traditional method, there's nothing wrong with this method. We all studied in this method and we are doing quite fine, actually. There's nothing wrong with this method. However, if you see in this method, the teacher is, teaching the children addition. Okay. And for addition, she is showing them some objects. Now there are objects in both of her hands. So she will have them count them together and arrive at a number. Let's say 3 in one hand, 3 in the other hand, 3 plus 3 becomes 6. They count them together and it is 6. And then she'll do another sum with more objects and so on. So good way of teaching addition though. However, which senses do you think are involved while doing this? There are 2 senses which are involved, which is the visual sense, the sense of sight or eyes, and the auditory sense or hearing. So listening and seeing, these are the 2 senses which are engaged in the traditional method, hearing and seeing. Through what? Through lectures. Teachers usually talk to the children like a lecture, reading from textbooks. So that is how it works. So the main senses here engaged here are auditory and visual. On the other hand, Montessori is a multi-sensory way of teaching. Okay, if you look at this, you would see a child is working with sandpaper number cards. Now here, the child is looking visual sense. The numbers are being spoken, auditory sense, and he's also touching or feeling the numbers, which is tactile sense. Okay, so there are 3 senses which are engaged. So the more you engage the senses, the more the experience becomes permanent. It stays with you. Like if somebody told you, or somebody texted you a recipe, okay, and you read it, or you read a recipe book of a dish, your favorite dish, okay, would you remember it more, or would you remember it more if you cooked it yourself? Certainly, if you cooked it, right?
While cooking, ma'am.
Yes. So you learn by doing and you remember also by doing. So that is the simple funda behind this, that the Montessori education is multi-sensory. Maria Montessori felt that the senses are the explorers of the world and they open a way to knowledge. She's also called them the keys to the universe, because everything we explore in the world, we do with our senses. There are so many things to see with our eyes. There are so many sounds to hear with our ears. So many smells to smell with our nose. So many tastes to taste with our tongue. So many things to feel and touch with our hands. Right? So the senses are the things which open the world for us. All the experiences which we gather from the world are through our senses. So if we don't engage the senses, the experiences are less. Now if I ask you a simple question, what do you remember from your schools till class 10, say? What is your one memory from your school? Good or bad? It can be happy, it can be painful, anything. Somebody would like to share with me?
Are teachers telling us stories while teaching the lessons?
Okay, wonderful. Anyone else?
My teacher taught me in different way. She just draws some picture on the board and she explained the story in a different way. While I'm studying grade 3, I think so. So that was my memory.
That's beautiful too. Anyone else? Anything you remember? Anything
Yeah,
from
ma'am.
school. It can be
I,
even having lunch in the cafeteria. It can be anything. Yes.
Good
ma'am,
evening.
once I was in class 6 and I was very bad in mathematics. So all were like putting me down कि नहीं अच्छा नहीं कर रहे हैं and ये वो. And
Mm-hmm.
suddenly my class teacher made me the monitor of class. And it was like now it came on my image that I need to be doing it well now. And
That's
that year
wonderful.
I
Yeah.
topped in my class. I was the topper of the class. Just
Beautiful.
because it came on my image and my sir took it that way is that she'll be doing now.
That's wonderful. I'll come back to you. Yes, Saru, you have something to say?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to share that I had never liked the subject of social studies because my teacher would just read it from the chapter. So it never helped me, develop interest in the subject. So she did not make even any effort to make it interesting. And the ones who were front benchers, they would be more she would pay more attention to those children.
True.
So yes.
That is the pain of, I think we have all of us gone through in some way or the other. Okay. And that is why usually we hardly have any memories from a school. And whatever we have, now what is the standout in all of your memories is something you have experienced, whether it is pain, whether it is joy, okay, whether it is teacher drawing on the board, because that is an experience you remember, because there was at least there was some element which was connected. Children, even if you tell them stories, and if you tell them stories with pictures, they are better than telling them without pictures, because you have a picture to relate to. Okay. So the more, that is why the more the senses are involved, the more you remember. Mostly, there have been in the past, I've had many such sessions where, others have told me that, ma'am, I remember playing in the playground. Somebody said, um, mm, you know, painful memories have also been there. Or like, somebody said NCC. I remember my NCC sessions. Somebody said excursions, picnics, or performing in a dance, uh, you know, uh, performance. So basically, you remember things you do or experience, right? Other things, they come and go. The teacher talks at you, you understand also because you mug it up somehow. You have to learn it for the exam, you learn it somehow, and then you reproduce it in the exam and then finished. Then you hardly remember it, right? But such a multisensory approach, the concepts remain with the children. Even in the early years when they are done, so they remain with the children. Not that they learn very complex things, but these simple things remain with them. And when in the higher classes, they will learn more complex concepts. The knowledge of these simple things will help them add on to them, and those concepts become more easy, approachable, doable, and they can master them easily. So that is the importance of this multisensory approach. Wish we, in our times also it had been there. So such an approach improves their academic performance because their attention span improves. Like I said, the experiences are retained permanently. There is better long-term retention. They develop empathy and interpersonal skills because they are engaged in things on their solve their own problems, and they learn to do that. So their empathy and interpersonal skills also improve. They understand the emotions of others and problems of others also. They develop more higher order thinking skills like problem solving and critical thinking, logical thinking, decision making by working with things. You can't teach them decision making by telling them about something unless they have encountered a problem on their own. Let's say they are pouring beans from one jug to the other and they spill. Okay, now they understand they have spilled and it's a problem. The problem has to be solved, meaning the beans have to go back in the jug. Otherwise, telling them that you have to put them, you don't spill them, won't help at all, right? I'll give you an example from one of my own sessions with, there was one of my students. During COVID, we were doing online sessions, and he said that, his little girl, when COVID started, and, we had just started, we were told that we have to wear masks. And he said that we didn't even have masks at home yet. We had to buy them, and we had to go out somewhere. And he said, my little girl, now, since we didn't have masks, she tried to make masks with cloth napkin and rubber bands. Now, what is that if not problem solving and critical thinking? So this is the benefits of children who have gone through this method. Now, what are the other differences? The learning approach is also different. In a traditional method, it is usually teacher-led, textbook-based, and structured. Okay? एक textbook है, you have to follow its pattern, you have to follow the sequence and the structure, and you have to finish it in a certain time. Whereas on the other hand, here it is child-led. Children choose their own materials. Now, I'm sure you'll be thinking, ki, how would you ensure that they learn all the things? Now, here all the things are useful and constructive. Whatever they choose, it is leading to their holistic development. So that is how they can be allowed to do that. The pace of curriculum in a traditional method is same for the entire class, whereas in Montessori, it is individualized and based on child's readiness. The teacher is an instructor and authority figure in a traditional method, whereas look otherwise, she's a guide and observer. She lets the children be, choose their own activities, work with them on their own. She keeps observing silently and she intervenes if necessary, and she also guides if needed. Sometimes the children need little guidance, support, and nudge so that they can go on and work on their own. Because when they master things on their own, they gain confidence. Their self-esteem grows, right? And they develop a healthy self-concept. The set of the classroom is also different. In traditional method, is usually desks in rows and teacher at the front. The age group is the same. There's hardly any social, interaction, because the only people the children can talk to is someone who's sitting next to them or in front of them the entire day. And usually, if there is any social interaction time, that's also eaten away by other subjects, like the physics curriculum is behind, so this games period is taken up by that. So the maximum importance is given to academics. And the furniture itself is so intimidating that they can't move freely, otherwise they'll hurt themselves. Whereas on the other hand, here there are mixed age groups. Activities are chosen, self-chosen by children, and the environment is prepared according to the needs of the children. Here also there are desks and chairs, but they are child-sized and they are kept in a certain area of the classroom where they will go to read and write. Because children's bodies are not meant to sit on chairs and tables all the time. They are meant to sit freely. I'm talking about young children in the early years. The learning materials are also different. In traditional method, there are abstract concepts given by textbooks, worksheets, whereas here there are concrete materials. Now, children cannot learn through abstract materials. If you write on the board and tell them this is one, or draw a square and say this is a square, it has 4 sides, all 4 sides are equal and it is square. The child will learn that concept but not understand it, right? Whereas on the other hand, the child experiences them on his own. He can touch them, he can feel all the 4 sides, and then you can probably give them the name that this figure which feels like this, it is a square. The assessment styles are also different. In a traditional school, it is mandatory to have regular tests, grades, and standardized assessments. Whereas in Montessori believes that they should be observational and formative. Yes, assessments should be there to know how the children are progressing. But you cannot decide one single day to hold a test, conduct a test. The child may not be even in mood today. They may have not slept well last night and they are cranky today, and it will decide everything about their assessment. Whereas they should be observed throughout, every day. Observation is a very important tool in the Montessori method. The focus of education in a traditional method is more on subject completion and academic achievement. Whereas, on the other hand, here it is on holistic development. Just like a building, it has pillars. Okay, let's say a building has 4 pillars. Even if one of them is weak, the building is weak. There's danger of crumbling. Similarly, our society has 4 pillars: physical development, mental development, social development, and emotional development. So even if one of them is weak, our personality is not going to be holistic or well developed. Okay, the child may be very good in academics and get 99% and get admission in IIT and become very well accomplished, and probably not have social skills and how to interact with, how to be a team person. And tomorrow, when he goes and applies for a job somewhere, the company will need a person who can gel with others, who has social skills, who has interpersonal skills, who has intrapersonal skills, right? So, for that reason, the child's holistic development is important, and such a system like Montessori focuses on that. Now, all of these teaching practices which we're talking about, they are a foundation for success in the 21st century. Now, in 21st century, you would have heard that most of the schools are talking about these now. Not only schools, in the corporate also, you are hearing such jargon like, the STEM education, STEAM education, the 4 Cs, the 3 Cs. I'm sure you would have heard of these terms somewhere or the other, right? Now, all of these which we are talking about now have always been a part of Montessori education. What are these skills? Okay, these skills are those which make us, these are those abilities which make us or help us to succeed in today's rapidly changing world. Because the old methods don't work today, right? And I'm sure that's why you are also here today. Many of you would already be teachers, right? And you want to upgrade, upskill so that you are on this wagon which is rapidly moving across the world. You don't want to be left behind, right? So these set of skills are the 21st century skills. They go beyond traditional academic knowledge. That is also important. Not that academic knowledge is not important. That is certainly important. And these skills also focus on preparing the learners for real life challenges. What are these skills? Few examples: self-control, self-direction or autonomy, problem solving and critical thinking, creativity, socio-emotional development, collaboration and communication, and global citizenship and respect for diversity. These are the important 21st century skills. I'm sure you have heard all or few of them somewhere, definitely. Now, what is self-control? In a Montessori method, the children are allowed to make their own choices. They choose their own work. So when they choose their own work, they pick up work from a certain place in the shelves. There's a dedicated place for the materials in the shelves. So they pick up from a certain place, they work with it, and they put it back. And they go through such cycles every day, one day, each day, and every day. Like choose, do, return. Choose, do, return. Choose, do, return. Such work cycles lead to self-control. They bring in discipline. Okay, eventually the children learn how to bring their impulses under control. What is the result? I'll give you an example. Let's say you are, as an adult, you are standing on a in your vehicle, in your car, on the red light. Okay, and there's no policeman, and there is no camera which is going to send the challan to your home. Okay, but you still don't want to jump the red light. There are many of us who don't want to jump the red light. We follow the rules by nature, right? Let's wait for a few seconds, and then we'll start the vehicle. And so that is a kind of self-control these children develop. Not by being scared, not by being punished. The teacher will punish if you don't do this. Not like that. This is something which is built from within. That is the outcome of this. Next is self-direction or autonomy. Because the children work with the material of their choice, and also each child has their own pace. Okay, there are some people who work with something once and they master it. But there might be other people like me who probably do it 5 times and then only they make sense of it. Right? And everybody, by working with it, everybody learns their own pace, their own way of learning, how many takes we need. So that is what the children figure out by working independently. So the pace for every child cannot be the same. Okay? So it is useless or futile to compare or have the entire class do the same thing in the same. आज A लिखा है तो everybody should write A and tomorrow let's move to B. Okay, there might be some children who are ready for B, but there are other children who yet need to work, more practice, more experience of A. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so that is what this method respects. Problem solving and critical thinking, I've already told you how the children come across or encounter problems while working with these concrete materials, and then they solve them on their own. They learn to solve them on their own by thinking critically. Social emotional skills, because there are mixed age groups. Children, the older children help the younger ones, and the younger help each other. There is more a moral help and reciprocal help. The older children strengthen their concepts like this, and the younger children, they learn better if nudged slightly by older children rather than by an adult. Then creativity is there. Teachers give limited demonstrations, and then they let the children be with the materials. So they explore. Materials are also open-ended. They explore other aspects of the material, which leads to creativity. Here is not idle creativity or pretend play. It is more structured, but the children are free to explore the materials. There is collaboration and communication because the environment is only such. There are peer interactions. Then, last but not the least, there is respect for diversity and global citizenship, because the curriculum is such, like the cultural subjects in which we study, just like in the modern times we have EVS. So there is science and social science studies together, like botany, zoology, geography, and history. They're all studied together as one subject. They're integrated. So in this way, they learn about the world in a very, easy manner, like play. And the classrooms celebrate diversity. The materials within the environment are also unique. They encourage independent learning. They enhance problem solving because the tools are self-correcting. When I say self-correcting, it means there's only one way to solve them. So the children, if they're doing something wrong, they will discover. The example is a simple puzzle. अगर puzzle को ठीक से नहीं लगाएंगे, तो it won't fit. So that means the child knows whether they are progressing correctly or not. So the materials are largely like that. And they refine the child's sensory perception. The senses are being refined, and we already talked that senses are the keys to the universe. They boost STEM readiness. Okay, STEM like science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So all of them are developed here. There is concrete to abstract learning, meaning materials are concrete, like making a simple tower. But by working with this concrete material of making a tower, the children learn complex or abstract topics like, differences in size, dimension, grading, ascending order, descending order, so on and so forth. Yes, Vivo, you have a query? Do you have a question? It prepares them for future careers. The environment is such that it caters to the children's multiple intelligences. Have you heard of the concept of multiple intelligences? There are different kinds of intelligences, like musical, like linguistic, like spatial, kinesthetic. Because we are all different. There are some of us who learn best through sculpture.
Somebody in masters in something.
Yes. And there are some who are linguistic. They listen to words and they make the best out of it. There are some who make things and they learn through it. There are some who learn through music and songs and dance. So people are different.
What's it like?
So likewise, children are also different. And the environment is such that it caters to all of these learning styles, so that there is something for everyone. So when children are given to this kind of an approach, it prepares them for future careers. There might be some who go on to become agriculture scientists. There are some who might go on to become wildlife photographers. Okay. There's another one who becomes a sculptor.
Who?
Okay. There's another
Call
one
again?
who may become a statistician. Right? So there is scope for all of these. There are some who are, who have logical intelligence. So they would go on to become statisticians or who predict things, so on and so forth. So it all helps in shaping future careers. Now, all of these are research-based findings, how Montessori students outperform their peers in standardized tests. I'm not going to read out them for you. You can see them. It helps them develop their executive function development. And these children fare better in tasks which require more planning or organization or flexible thinking. They have social emotional skills. They are enhanced social skills. You will see that these children exhibit more cooperation, empathy, and conflict resolution skills. They also perform better in cognitive tests. They perform 15 to 20% higher than other typical children who are educated through the traditional method. And they have 25% fewer behavioral issues. They are more settled. Now, what are the advantages of you for those of you who are here today, right? So if you do such a course like a Montessori teacher training course, what are the benefits for these? It gets you a job as a preschool teacher because in the current times, Montessori method is developing rapidly. And even if it's not a Montessori school, even the regular schools these days, they prefer Montessori teachers because they actually are overqualified for a job in a preschool teacher. So you can get a job in a regular preschool. They also look for Montessori trained teachers sometimes. Okay. And there are many schools who, even if they are not Montessori, now they want to bring in a hybrid Montessori classroom or a lab for which they need Montessori expert teacher. So it gets you a job over there. Other option is if you're already a teacher in a preschool and your school wants to bring in Montessori. Sometimes they want to bring in pure Montessori, sometimes just for the face of it. Sometimes schools do, whatever the reason is, they want to bring in Montessori materials and they need a teacher who knows about Montessori philosophy and who knows how to use these tools and techniques and the what is the philosophy behind it. So it helps you upgrade yourself in your school. Next is if you have entrepreneurial dreams or you want to open your own school, then also it can help you. If you want to start your own Montessori preschool, this course will help you there. And there have been many who, feel that the Montessori system is very expensive for their children, but it is very beneficial for them. So there have been many who have done this course themselves just to, work with their children at home with it. Or along with working with their home children at home, they want to open a activity center or a daycare center. Now, Up Educators has been running Montessori Teachers Training Live Interactive course. There are two options. I'll give you both of them. Now, what does this course include? It helps you master the Montessori method. Meaning, once you have done this course, you will gain confidence in and expertise with ready-to-use learning tools. Now, I'm sure you must be thinking, how do we get the experience of these tools through an online course, right? For that, like in no method till now, no course till now, you would have experienced this, that Up Educators is offering a comprehensive kit of Montessori materials. All that you can see on your screen, this kit, whoever is joining the course will receive. So although the presentations will be given online, you will have the opportunity to experience them, do practice them, and also on screen perform them in the classes. Meaning you learn by doing. You get hands-on with real materials and practical exercise. In addition, there are various other materials which you are taught to work on your own or you prepare on your own. I'll give you a little demo with a material which shows you how Montessori, presentations are done in the classroom. Just give me a second to adjust my camera.
अगर बिजली को पकड़ना है तो अच्छे से हाथ को इंसुलेट करिए, करंट लगेगा तो कौन से मैं खुद बिजली का खंभा हूँ, मुझसे करंट गुजरता है, लगता है क्या हुआ? आप सब क्या कर रहे हैं? कुछ नहीं, कुछ नहीं, कुछ नहीं। क्या कर रहे हैं आप लोग? कहाँ तक आवाज आ रही है? पड़ोसी सारे खड़े होकर तमाशा सुन रहे हैं। हाँ, क्या हो रहा है? इतनी जोर से आवाजें आएंगी, हाँ गले बंद कर लेंगे हम लोग पढ़ने पे। वो बनी नहीं है, मालकिन पहले पढ़ना चालू कर दिया अपने आप को।
साली साहिबा, कैसी हैं आप? चलो अच्छा हुआ आप आ गई। इसी बहाने हादसे में हो रहा था तुम, वरना हम तो जा ही रहे
So
थे।
in a Montessori presentation,
अरे कौन सा बात?
whenever you give this presentation, can you hear me?
हमें भी आपकी सेवा करने का
Yes,
मौका
ma'am.
Okay.
हाँ?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
mute
Yes,
yourself.
ma'am.
Everyone should mute themselves.
नहीं मैं यहाँ
Yes, ma'am.
कोई नहीं ले आया।
Someone put on
क्या है ना?
TV.
In a Montessori presentation, you always have a proper invitation, a presentation, and a wind up. So now today I'm going to give you a presentation on the pink tar. So for that, we first invite the children for this activity, saying, let's say you are in your schools or in your classes in the morning time. So you greet them according to the time of the day. I'll give you a sample conversation. Very good morning, child. How are you doing today? Are you interested in a new activity? If child says yes, so I tell him, we are going to work with the pink cubes today. We are going to work on the floor. Let's lay a mat first. Okay, when you lay a mat, come, let me show you where the pink cubes are kept. So I take him to the shelf. Now, for your convenience, I've kept them here only. So usually they would be kept like a tar in the shelf only. I have a smaller version of these for these presentations, which I can keep on my table. So child, these are the pink cubes. Okay. This is how we hold a pink cube. Would you like to hold and see? When the child holds and sees, can you please help me carry them one by one to the work area? So both teacher and child bring them to the work area and teacher indicates that we have to place them here or here. So we'll be placing them randomly. One teacher will bring, one the child will bring. The first few can be carried with 2 fingers, but when they grow bigger, you carry them like this. Because the child's hands are tiny and their weight also is increasing. So when all the cubes are brought, both the teacher and child sit down on the floor mat and teacher first introduces the material. She says, these are pink cubes. Today we are going to work with them and we are going to make a tar. Will you watch me carefully? And then it's going to be your turn. Once the teacher has made, then she tells the child, shall we take an aerial view? Then they both get up and they walk around the tower, admiring it from all sides. So then she tells the child, would you like to try? If child says yes, can you help me dismantle it? Then both the teacher and child put the cubes again in the same random manner. And then she requests the child to try. So when the child has tried, then again she says, let's take an aerial view. So after that, then she says, okay, so today we have worked with the pink cubes and we've made a beautiful pink tower. You are free to make it whenever you like. If you need any help, you can come to me. Shall we wind up now? Will you help me place the cubes back in the shelf? Then both the teacher and child take one cube and put it back in the shelf again in the tower form. Then she should thank the child. So that way they end the presentation. Now, what do you think are the aims of this presentation? Actually, this simple presentation is leading to the child's holistic development. When we say holistic, it is divided into 4 areas: physical, mental, social, and emotional. So, physical development. Fine motor skills are being developed. Eye-hand coordination is being developed. Okay. Child is getting the muscular memory of size and weight. Then mental development, there is seriation, there is grading, ascending order, descending order, refinement of the visual perception of dimension, size. So all of that the child is getting. Then social development. Now, when you bring things pick up things from a certain place and put them back in a certain place, child learns order, concentration, repetition, responsibility. So all that is social development. Now, when the child gets it right, okay, it builds confidence, self-esteem, okay, and a healthy self-concept. So you can say, in this manner, the child's holistic development is happening. And then you give him the freedom to work with it on his own as many times and as many repetitions he wants to make. The child will show an interest like a sensitive period till the time he masters it. Once he has mastered it, you will see he moves on to other things. And not only this, he'll also develop his creativity and imagination. Ek baar jab he has made a tower and he's perfected it, next time he might want to make this, which teacher has not even taught him. This he will try on his own, a stair pattern. Or when he's done other dimension materials, then he can combine it with those materials and do other things with it. So this will lead to the child's creativity and development. So for the moment, I'm just putting them away so that we can go on to our course. Any queries here? You are free to ask me. Let's go back to the PPT. So this was one sample demo. In the classes, the demos of each material will be given like this. The teacher will give the demo. Thereafter, she will do the presentation without uttering a single word. Then she will give a recap of everything, each step she has done. After that, she will discuss the aims of the activity, the age at which this activity should be given. Then, what are the points of interest for the child? What is the control of error, which will help the child progress in this activity, and various other aspects of this presentation. So after that, she will give a chance to the participants to present. So maybe not the entire class doesn't get to do it, but everyone will get some chance to do some activity. And each of them can simultaneously practice with the materials they will receive in a kit at home. Now the certifications. There are 2 courses. We have a diploma in Montessori course completion certificate by our educators. The diploma looks like this. Then we also have a PG diploma in Montessori course completion certificate, which looks like this. The course will also have a Skill India certificate. Then you also get a Google certified educator certificate. Whoever has done this course will have 100% placement assistance, workshops on interview skill development, portfolio development, and presentation skill development. Please mute yourself.
Marketing and promotion. Now RCM ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. RCM ಬಂದಾಗ RCM ನವರೇ ಸ್ವಂತ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಕೊಡು. ನೀನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ? ಸೊ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಕೊಡು ಯುಕ್ತನ.
Good evening and Jai Hind, ma'am. Today
Good
you
evening.
will give us certificate for this session or not?
No, this is not a course. Yeah, this is a webinar for information on Montessori course.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, UP Educators has till now trained about 1,000 plus educators till now who are working in preschools. Some names are here for you to see. Like I said, these teachers are overqualified to work in any preschool, which may or may not be Montessori, because many of the schools are now adopting methods where Montessori can work very well. Because the Montessori knowledge uh, is such that this course is such that you learn to adapt to whichever method you work.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, for the webinar we have attended till now, you will provide a certificate, right, ma'am? For
No,
attending this session,
no.
we will not be given any certificate. Not for the completion, ma'am. For attending the session.
Some participation will be given to you. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, something about the faculty. This is myself. My name is Chetan Preet, like I have told you. Now, I have been associated with Montessori since 2007. Because once a Montessorian, always a Montessorian. Whoever has done this will start to speak with the same passion which I am doing today, because the method is such, you know. So I started my career as a preschool, pre-primary educator. Soon I was roped in to become a, Montessori trainer, teacher trainer, set up branches from start, and then eventually I headed a teacher training for a pan-India organization which is based in London. Right now, I'm consulting, helping schools develop Montessori, design their curriculums, train their teachers, and so on and so forth. So currently, I'm also mentoring this course at UP Educators. We have other senior faculty like Miss Upasna, who's doing the same for the entity or ECC course. Miss Nishita doing the same. And Miss Manju, who is our academic head. From time to time, we have other visiting faculty who visit us, and those of you who are doing these courses get a chance to listen in to them. Now, like I told you, there are two program variants, a diploma in Montessori Teachers Training and a PG diploma. What is the difference? The diploma is it's a 6-month course. There are 4 months of live training, and you get 2 additional months because there'll be some assignments which are part of this course. Now, you may be working and you may not be simultaneously able to finish them. So you get additional 2 months to submit them. Assignments are like, some questions which, side by side you're given, and there are some journals to make, some lesson plans. This diploma course, you get 10 items in your Montessori kit. Presentation skills, demo classes, and Viva will be included. The course outline here will be Montessori philosophy. You will learn how to set up a Montessori environment, sociology in Montessori, psychology in Montessori, how to plan the curriculum, and the 5 key Montessori learning areas like practical life, sensorial, language, mathematics, cultural subjects, and learning about 3 period lessons, which are the pioneer or the hallmark of the Montessori method. The fee of this course is 17,900 rupees. In addition, the Montessori kit is for 15,900 rupees. This is all inclusive, there is no GST. Then there is the PG diploma in Montessori Teachers Training. It is an 8-month course plus 4 months of submission. So you can say 1-year course. There are 15 assignments. The Montessori kit has 12 items. The term 1 has the same course as diploma. In term 2, you have, this course becomes more rounded. It has observation in Montessori, assessment in Montessori, involving parents and community, behavioral and learning difficulties in children, child welfare, health and safety, and calligraphy. The course fee is 24,900, and the kit of Montessori materials, the cost is 21,900. Now, there is a special surprise or special offer for those of you who would like to fill the form today. If they fill the form today, they will get a coupon. In that coupon, you will get the kit for free. So meaning, instead of 17,900 plus 15,900, which is 33,800, you get this course for only 17,900, meaning kit is complimentary. Similarly, the PG diploma, instead of 46,800, you get it only for 24,900. But You have to fill the form today itself. Now, these are the few testimonials on your screen, which are from people who have done our courses. The amount of knowledge and skills they've gained here, which have been invaluable. How it has made, given them unique selling points. The classes have been informative, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to read them. There are various such testimonials. You can always go to our website www.upeducators.com for plenty of such information. Testimonials from our teachers who have done this course and also parents who have done this course. Now, there are other various popular courses offered by App Educators, equally important for educators. If you are interested, you can always look up on www.appeducators.com. Now, I'm going to share with you a link of a form. You can click on it and, fill it if you're interested in this course. Now, if you want, I can also share it in chat if in case you're
Sorry,
not
ma'am,
able to
may I
open.
speak to you?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, myself, Mrs. Bhatia. I'm working as a vice principal, but the staff is not at present. They are on the leave, and the discounts and everything which were provided, if we can be provided later on, and if I refer to any of the teachers, those who are interested for doing this course, can it be helpful from your side?
Certainly, ma'am, you can, what you can do is you can fill the form. In this way, your information will be there with the counselors, and you can talk to them whenever you want. You can probably, fill the form, and once they talk to you, you can, they will show you the way out, how to do it.
Okay, fine, ma'am. Because I have to talk to the management and the principal too. So having the words with them, then I will be able to fill up the form also. So without their permission, I can't go on with ma'am. So
I
that is that.
understand. I'm sure they will show you a way. I'm
Yeah,
sure they
sure,
won't.
ma'am.
I'm sure they won't say pay the fee today only. They will give you
Okay,
time.
fine,
So you
ma'am.
can do
Thank
that.
you. Thank you for your. And
Yeah.
sorry for disturbing you in the middle, but it was urgent that I would
Not at
speak
all.
to you
Not at
now.
all. I understand.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. I want to ask
Yeah.
if you are covering the phonics syllabus also in this PG
Yes,
diploma course,
certainly. Phonics is an integral part of this course. In fact, you will get a phonics certificate also.
but there was no mention in your curriculum that you are offering phonics, Jolly phonics.
What is the thing is we are what we mention is the language part, language module in the course. Now our language module is entirely about phonics. There's nothing else over there.
Because I think that for the Montessori, phonics is equally important for the
Certainly,
child.
phonics is the only way in which we teach language. We have a graded
Yeah.
phonics scheme, and it is a very unique method
Yeah.
which
So
we
you
do.
will be covering this also in
It
your
will be covered. It will be covered, and you will be given a certificate also.
advanced course or basic course? Phonics.
Advanced.
Advanced course?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So I have now pasted the link in the chat. You can click on it and just leave your details. But only those who are interested in joining the course, they can leave. They can fill the form so that someone can get back to you and give you the information you need. And then only you can get a coupon code. Any other query, please feel free to share. Are you able to click on the link and open it? The link will just probably have your details, your name and your email ID and your phone. So that only you need to fill.
Very good evening, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, like I have no background in teaching and I've done my MBA. But if I want to be a preschool teacher now, so there is two options, right? The ECC course, which is the early childhood course, and this the Montessori course. So which one should I do first to get a good job in a good primary school?
See, I won't say do this or that. That depends upon where you live and what is more relevant over there. However,
Okay.
I can tell you that we have both of these courses at Up Educators. However, I can tell you that if you have done a Montessori school, you are eligible to work in both. Then you don't need to do this first or that first. You need to do only one.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I reside in Delhi NCR. So basically, I see everywhere Montessori system
Yeah.
is right now still
So
less.
in Delhi NCR, because I live in Gurgaon.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Okay. So in Delhi NCR, Montessori is just what you need to get into a good school, a good preschool.
Yeah, because I think it's still very new, and a lot of schools are popularly advertising with this ECC, early childhood focus only, and not Montessori focus. So wherever I've tried to apply without having any of the courses done and have no teaching background, so I have got a negative review only. So now I was trying to find a good teacher training course, but to my dismay, no school is also providing online courses, and everybody's like, I
Yes.
have this knowledge of traveling to Gurgaon and taking the course with the top schools they are providing, but that's very hassleful for me. So I was
Yeah.
looking for online, but still then I got confused because they are providing like ECC, NTT, and Montessori, all three. So I was
No,
very confused.
Up Educators has a unique this course which has come up, and such opportunities have not there. And because I live here and I know that what kind of courses are available around. So
Yeah.
if you have done this, a school takes you immediately, like they all need Montessori teachers. And even if they're,
Who are
in
aware of
fact,
Montessori
like you
curriculum.
said that your schools are asking you to do NTT or ECC, if you have done
Yes.
Montessori, you will see your choice of schools will increase, and you will actually graduate to better schools also.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for clearing this. I was so confused. Thank you.
No need to be confused. Anyone else has any query? And is anyone filling the form? If you are not, and if you don't have queries, you are free to leave also. Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. And if anyone still has a query or is filling, I'm here for them.
Thank you so much. It was
Thank
really
you for
worth.
being a lovely audience.
Yeah, really, it was worth full time investing. It was a hectic time still after driving, and I have attended your webinar. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Thank you. I'm
Good
really
night.
grateful. Good
Yeah,
night.
bye. I have already enrolled. Let's see. Hope for the best.
All the best.
Okay, bye.
Okay, then. Good night. Bye-bye.